I'm Graham Johnson from the Port of Tacoma. Here's what's happening on Pierce County's working waterfront. We begin with a partnership between the Port of Tacoma and the Puyallup Tribe of Indians to widen the Blair Waterway. On March 17th, Port Commissioners approved an agreement to cut back a portion of tribal property along the Blair Waterway to create a wider passageway for ships and facilitate development of a new tribal terminal. The commission vote followed approval by the Puyallup Tribal Council. The tribe and the Northwest Seaport Alliance are working to develop a new terminal next to the existing East Blair 1 terminal. Cutting back the shoreline will create 850 feet of space between the future terminal and Washington United terminals across the waterway. Commission President Dick Marzano compared the new agreement to the 1997 removal of the Blair Bridge, a drawbridge which used to cross the waterway.
I look at this as the second phase of opening up that waterway to meet the demands of the future and making us to be continued as a Class A port for customers to call.
The port plans to place clean material from the cutback at the East Commencement Habitat Opportunity Project, which will enhance habitat for juvenile salmon and Dungeness crab. Construction on the Port of Tacoma's Maritime Center is hitting new milestones. At the port's future business office on the Foss Waterway, contractors are working on the roof, walls, and exterior glass, plus doing interior work. BNSF crews have relocated a rail line on the site and installed new crossing signals, and the parking lot is taking shape. Next door to the port's office is Tacoma Public Schools' Maritime 253 Skills Center, which will be open to high school juniors and seniors from across the South Sound. Maritime 253 welcomes students this fall. Enrollment is open now on the district's website. In March, the Tacoma Sea Scouts held their annual Bridge of Honor at Mount Tahoma High School, recognizing more than a dozen youth for their rank advancements in the past year. Sea Scout Gerard Bega earned the highest rank of quartermaster. The Tacoma Sea Scouts are based at the Youth Marine Foundation and offer young people learning opportunities and adventure on the water.
It really is important that we recognize young people for what they do.
Tacoma Sea Scouts began operating in 1923, and Sea Scout Ship 110 is one of the oldest in the nation. The Port of Tacoma is recruiting 9 summer interns. Paid internships are offered in a variety of departments at the port and the Northwest Seaport Alliance. Applications are open through the end of April. You can find the link on the employment page of portoftacoma.com. Port Commissioners took a special tour of the newest permanent exhibition at the Washington State History Museum in Tacoma. This is Native Land tells the story of Washington's native people, offering contemporary teachings from tribal traditions, history, and culture. The exhibit's co-creator and museum's tribal liaison, Todd Clark, gave commissioners an in-depth tour of the exhibit, which is focused on 3 teachings. We are of the land and waters. With knowledge comes responsibility and power, and sovereignty protects people, lands, and waters.
And I wanted people from the get-go to kind of like clear their palate and have an open mindset of something different than what they're usually going to see.
And it's telling the true picture of what's happened is amazing.
The Port of Tacoma is on the ancestral land of the Puyallup Tribe of Indians. Port of Tacoma commissioners meet at least once a month at the Fabulous Center off Port of Tacoma Road. Public comment is welcome at the meetings, which start at noon. For agendas by email, we invite you to sign up for our community newsletter, Pierside. Pierside subscribers are the first to find out when free tickets become available for boat tours of the Port of Tacoma. This year, you'll want to save the date for Sunday, September 13th. Tours are held one day each summer, and they're popular. Tickets go fast. To sign up for our newsletter, find a link on the homepage at portoftacoma.com. We end this month with another popular event that's free to the community. Our speaker series, Ports and Popcorn, is in its 2nd season. In March, people gathered at the Grand Cinema in Tacoma to hear from port historian Rod Kuhn. The April 2nd presentation features Joey Halverson of Tote Maritime, Alaska, talking about the twice-weekly cargo service between Tacoma and Anchorage. And on May 7th, Zach Patton and Brian Skiffington of International Longshore and Warehouse Union, Local 23, will give a talk called ILWU Strong, Longshore at the Port of Tacoma. Tickets are free, but advance registration is required. Find a link at portoftacoma.com. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with a new edition of Working Waterfront in May.